So I just wanted to offer this. Couldn't, can't really call it a meditation, but an observation practice to get in touch with what's going on. So I just did my morning practice, which is why I'm pretty high right now. Right. So if you want to do some breath work before, if you want to do some movement, some yoga, some dance, whatever, something before, I think it's great. It's a great supplement. But this practice you can actually do throughout the day. You can do it at any time of the day. Um, but to start getting in tune with the body, I invite you to just start your day like this. It can also be every time that happens this incident, like an incident that's something that affects you. Everything affects us, right? But are we attuned to it or not? Are we close to it or are we open to it? So this is a practice of opening into that by bringing mind and emotions, aligning it all. Right. So right now, what am I observing inside of myself? Maybe my mind is active, my thoughts are active, maybe my body is active. So what am I observing? So right now I'm observing that my head my head feels kind of, so I'm going for the observation and I'm going for the sensation. Like, what sensation am I feeling right now? Right? So first the observation could be I have this thought. Okay, so what's the sensation in the body from that thought? Right now it's just like a lot of sensation because like I just mentioned, I just did this morning practice, right? So and I just chanted very loud. So there's a lot of energy in my head. So I'm observing this energy. I'm observing the sensation in my head of vibration. And the sensation is a lot of tingling, a lot of movement, and at the same time I'm feeling something that wants to go down. There's like there's a sense of like a heavy sense actually. And if I just try to open up my body more, so I'm feeling with more of my body, I feel how my belly is very tingling as well. The center of my chest is also very tingling. But the main of the energy, the main sensation is in my forehead. And actually what comes up is a sense of worry that now that because I just did a very strong practice, that I pushed myself too much. And now I need to rest. And I went over the peak. That's the story that I'm creating from this. I went over the peak, and now I'm actually on the way down. And my story is I should have stopped before the peak, so I would walk into with this tremendous amount of energy that I've just used. You should have seen it. So I'm just sitting with that. And the thing is, whenever we open up into sensation, there's a much bigger chance of getting a little bit emotional. And when I say emotional, I'm using that as getting a little bit teary. The more we start opening up, the more we start to feel life, the more we also start to feel the worries that we're carrying on the unconscious level, which is ultimately why we don't feel, why we don't want to feel, right? Because then we'd have to feel the whole of the world and all its suffering. Well, we don't have to, but and that's it. You can do this practice with anything, And I could sit a long time with it, and the longer I will sit with something, the more deep I'll go into that, of course. Because the sensation always changes, right? Nothing is stagnant, everything keeps moving, keeps changing. And if you have the opportunity, then sit with it for as long as you can. Allow yourself to sit with something until the impulse of doing something different comes, the natural spontaneous impulse. Not that you feel like you have to, if you have that availability, but when the spontaneous impulse of doing something different comes natural.